Yo, what's going on, people? It's now Sunday, uh, August 21st. Hopefully, this will be episode 36 if I can make something of it. I actually wanted to get on here a few extra times, or a few other times before this Friday, Saturday, maybe even Thursday. Uh, you know, it's funny, like, it started because I got annoyed. You ever woke up in the morning and you're about to go to work, and then someone just starts the day? Like, you're like, hey, I'm coming in, blah, blah, blah. And they just start the day shitting on you? Well, it's just like, well, fuck. I mean, unless I'm just that bad, I don't think anyone deserves that shit. You know? It's hard enough to go into work as it is. Then start the day saying, just want you to know, I don't believe in you. I don't trust you. And you can do whatever you want, basically. You know, I say a lot of things. I'm not the greatest when it comes to consistently working. Honestly, I get tired of doing the same things over and over again. You know, living a kind of a mundane existence. You know, just fucking being there every day. Just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. So sit in the cubicle, set up the pictures of my fucking girlfriend or blah blah blah. I mean, I don't have a fucking girlfriend or wife, but how many set up the picture with the girlfriend and the wife and us at the Disneyland and doing the stuff that we didn't even actually want to do, and it just took us away from our misery for a few minutes or a few hours. You know, half those times you spent that you're taking pictures of, you spent pissed off just to get the fucking picture taken. Will you get in the fucking frame? And then everyone's smiling. But does anyone think about that, by the way? We just keep pushing out more kids, you know. If you don't consider abortion credible in this world right now, you're crazy. You have brain cancer. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. There are a plethora of retards being born daily. And we just want more kids to just sit there and hold up more signs, you know, at the rally out front of the fucking abortion clinic, where you got men who don't have ovaries or vagina and don't have to go through 9 months. They just, you know, 10 minutes if they're decent, they're in there rocking or doing something, and then they help the lady get pregnant, and then she has to then go through the 9 months of labor. I think if any rule should come out of this whole thing, you know, since we're going to have to redo everything. I mean, Roe v. Wade's gone, you know, all semblance of sanity is pretty much trampled underfoot at this point. But once we come back around, bro, it should be women are the ones who make those decisions about the pregnancy. Sorry. And here's the thing, guaranteed, some women would be like, but we will give the respectable man who was a part of this possible birth his right to speak up, but it is ultimately our decision. You know, I think they would probably be more reasonable about it than the dudes with dicks who have no idea about pregnancy at all, don't understand it, They're just talking shit. It's a political point. Or something to bury something that they're holding on to that's deep inside them. God, how many fucking times have I said that? But it really is amazing to me that people can actually still just keep having kids. Oh yeah. We got the fucking bro, I would have been done by World War II. I would have already been done by then. I mean, what was going on then? Who wanted to bring kids into that world? We're still fucking like 40 years outside of slavery at that point. 50, something like that. Like, it's still a crazy world. There's fucking like all types of not just racial hatred, but classist hatred, gender hatred. Women were still being treated like third-class citizens, second-class citizens, let alone black people. But you have even now. I mean, has anyone watched anything like from the shit that just comes on TV to the news? If you could even stomach that shit without a filter, which, by the way, the news is a filter. Reality getting jumbled up and eaten by a fucking power crazed maniac who then pushes this certain type of agenda, and that's what gets spewed out. It's not fucking real. It's all bullshit. But here's what's real about it. As I said, it's all bullshit, but here's what's real about it. It is fucking up the minds of those who watch it. And even if you think you're sane, keep downloading enough of that shit and give yourself a month and you'll be like, wait, how the fuck did I get here? I'm fucking stabbing a homeless person outside of a fucking Target. When I started watching this shit, I just wanted to fucking eat some Cheerios and pass the time. Now I've got a fucking sword in my hand. I just don't understand, so from that perspective, from the perspective that most marriages end, and not by death, even though the ones that are ended by death, not by old age. We're talking, death by suicide, death by murder, blah, 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 blah. When children are now, because that's all we have. We have children 18 and below, and we have children 18 to 100. All children. But now the young children are ruling the roost. You can't even fucking reprimand your kid anymore without somebody calling fucking child services. So we're just producing these sociopaths, who have 37 to 150 different genders, depending on the day of the person. And you look at that and you go, yeah, man, I just really want to have a child. Nurture them, show them how the world... Can I put you in the pit right now, please? Who the fuck would even be saying that shit right now? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. I'm supposed to start the podcast with that. But yeah, that shit's just amazing, man. And then how people look at you too. When you're like, yeah, I don't want to have a child. Not in America, not in 2020 something. I don't want to get married. I mean, I've seen how that goes. I don't want any of the scenarios. I'm going to grow old anyway, so I'll be able to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, you're old. I don't need to grow old to someone else. I don't, like I said before, I don't need a fucking legacy. If you're looking at from the, so meaningless to me. If you're looking at from the angle of I I need, or I want to, or no, 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 no. I already said that, legacy. But if you're looking at it from the angle of how are children reacting to their parents now, like from the things that they're doing, you know, you got fucking kids killing their parents in some cases. Children are all killing their parents. You know, but that has happened. You know, or just the people who started these things and then ultimately realize it's like almost like when I was in the Navy, when I know I only had a 4-year situation, but it was like at some point you look at it when you're a year in, like, what the fuck have I done? Like, how many people fucking go to war thinking, yeah, we're gonna shoot some fucking Arabs, we're gonna fucking kill the enemy, protect blah blah blah, patriotism, America, and all that horse shit. And then they get over there and they're like, oh, we're killing babies. We're ripping babies out of mom's arms and we're killing them. We're ripping their arms off and throwing them to pits. Some of the real crazy ones are making family kill the other ones. I can't prove that, but it doesn't seem that out of the realm of possibility. And there's just no part of looking at the world that makes you say, yeah, this paradise looks like where I want to bring up a fucking couple lads or laddies. Ladies. Yeah, man. I just don't get it. I got some notes here. See, that was a thing. It was just like, yo, it's like a fire sometimes. I'm like, I gotta get on the mic and I gotta say this shit. But then sometimes that fire burns out pretty quick. And then it kind of becomes a necessity. And then I just find myself on here riffing, which is kind of what I'm doing now. I'm like, what about the notes? What have I written down? Well, I guess, kind of from that line of thinking, also, like, I also realize that I'm a terrible person. I'm a pretty shitty friend. Like, I'm always busy doing something, and most of the time, I'm not hitting people back right away. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get back to them after I finish this thing. And then I don't. Sometimes for half a day, sometimes more. I'm pretty selfish. I don't like to go out. I don't want to be bothered like with a lot of things. Like a lot of that shit annoys me a bit. Now this is not the whole me, but this is a part of me. Or a lot of it, when I hear people talking about all this stuff, and they're like, well, I gotta handle this person. It's like, well, do you? You really just have to take a shit. That's more important than handling it with this person. Why don't you handle yourself? Handle yourself. And then, like, there's sometimes when I'm listening to someone tell me something, horrible, like, yeah, I stepped on this person's fucking leg. Fucking, like, I stomped on it like 40 times, until he cried and said, yes, you can fuck me in the ass. What? Or I'm just picking out a scenario to completely take away from the real one that I actually had in my mind, which to me was just as crazy as what I just fucking said. And you're like, wow. I mean, you did that, and now you're sitting here, you got your shirt on, you're writing down notes, acting like you're a civilized human. And you would literally cut someone's foot off and feed it to your pigs. Just to see how it looked for a pig to eat a foot. You're sitting here writing notes like, yeah. the logistics of. I'm like, well, how have you existed all this time without murdering someone? Now, everything I just said was obviously completely fabricated. And here's the thing, I'm pretty sure it's happened. Then I'm thinking like, oh yeah, you threw a garden hoe at someone's head. You could have killed them. You fucking idiot. You have no room to talk. You should be taken behind the barn and fucking shot, Old Yeller style. Okay, I was a teenager, blah blah blah, hormone. No, it's still crazy. It's still crazy. It's still fucking crazy. But and that's the other thing with this whole this whole just two-party system where either you're good or you're bad. And we're not just talking about Republicans and Democrats. We're talking about anyone who believes something. And if you don't believe what they believe, then you are the other. And so that's all that's needed. I believe in God. If you believe in any different type of God or any different type of anything else, you don't have to be an atheist. You're just not me. So I'm Democrat God believing or Republican God believing. And anyone else outside of that is the other one. So if I'm Democrat God believing, everyone outside of that is Republican God believing, even if they're Republicans or not. Does that make sense? They just don't believe what you believe, so they're inherently wrong. And another thing I hate, it's like when you try to explain it to them, you're like, or when you try to explain to them your position, they're like, so you're an anarchist. I'm like, no, you're an anarchist. No. Oh, you're a Democrat. No. Oh, you're a libertarian. No. Stop trying to put the one word on me, whatever word you think fucking fits in your limited mental fucking vocabulary, whatever fits in there. Bro, vocabulary itself is large, and there are a million different things that can describe any given person. Not some. Some 3 words can describe them. Buffoon. Hateful loser. Ignorant, hateful loser. A few words can describe a lot of people. But everyone outside of that, everyone who hasn't broken their brain on this system, or who hasn't completely retreated, and who is still trying to think through something, a million things can describe them. It's never fucking, it has never once been. So for the love of God, people stop trying to define me personally and anyone around you as to things. Listen to them. Listen to what they're saying. When you're doing that, you're just trying to process them in your small brain. They have to be something because it's the only thing that you can categorize, because you can't think of a person's life as a spectrum of a bunch of different things, because that too would break your brain. Well, let it be broken then. And this is why I like to stay inside. You know, this is why generally when I'm dealing with people, I'm drinking. Unless I'm working. You know, and the other thing is people get mad at you when you point things out. Like I was just like, all right, fine. Yeah, I believe in God. But what are we doing? What are we fighting? Like, what does that mean in the army of what? I thought it was supposed to be peace. So is it going to be peace or is it going to be war? That's all I'm asking. Or I'm asking a lot of things, but that's one of the main things. My thing, personally, was I didn't want to be a part of any of it. If I could literally just disappear in a wisp of fucking smoke and never have been thought of, that to me would be preferable. And I know some people in my immediate circle don't like to hear that. Nah, but you have specialness. It's special. Nigga, I'm in my room. I eat noodles. And I get the fucking regular unleaded for the car. I'd rather get the premium, but who's got premium numbers? I get the low grade fucking steak because I want to eat beef and a lot of fucking jalapenos. And I think that's a good diet for me. But I do that. Bro, actually that doesn't sound so bad. The noodles sound worse. Like, I'm doing a podcast in my room that I edit. I suck at editing. Not that great at being comedic either. And I'm sitting here and you're like, special? Can I cave your head in with a hammer, please? Don't feel special. Feel stupid. Feel stupid sitting here. Like, yeah, let me tell you about what I think again. But I'm going to do it. Because what else am I going to do? I'm going to go to work, lose my fucking mind. And I will show you all that shit right on the fucking camera. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anything I can do for you. That's what I'm here for. No, I'm here to get this shit monetized and make some goddamn money. So I appreciate a few comments and subscriptions and shares. Please. Or get out of here. If you're not going to share it, get out of here. If you're not going to like it on the thing. I appreciate people prompting me for it by saying, yeah, good job. But like it on the thing. I'm doing the thing. That's what I'm showing. So if you like it on there, then maybe other people will look at it and like it. But we can't do that if you're just sending me the fucking text message. And not on Facebook, on the YouTube channel, on the video, please. While you're watching the video, do it then. And if this is making you mad, fuck you. It's my life, my podcast. It's going nowhere. I got 6 views on the last one, and I thought that one was a beast. Because 6 people watched it. 2 likes. All 6 of you should have liked it. So if you didn't, fuck you. I've had enough. This is bullshit. And if I'm going to do this podcast, I'm going to do it the way I want to every time and the only way I want to. But I am going to be pumping out more content. You can believe that. And hopefully it doesn't get boring for you. But if it does, put it in the comments. Jesus. So yeah. It's great, you know. It's great when people say you're special, but not feeling that fucking special. Don't think I'm that fucking special. Now, obviously, I'm a bit megalo. You gotta be a bit to even try this shit. Brought all this shit. Bro, everyone looks at me, pretty much everyone. Not everyone, but almost everyone. Even some of the people that have come on the podcast look at me, they're like, yeah, well, you know, don't expect much. Is it wrong that every other story I tell, I think about murdering someone? Is that wrong? I mean, I wouldn't actually do it, I don't think. But is it wrong that I just go straight to murder? Maybe not go straight to murder. Hey, I'm 38. Everything now is straight to murder. We're done with kindness. But yeah, you know, people being fucking passive aggressive in your life, no one you could really trust. Even the people you think you like, you're like, but what is he really saying? What is she really thinking? Now, if you're dumb, you can just go on the fucking rides at Disney World and fucking stand in the line at your fucking local restaurant for an hour, then you're not the person I'm talking to. You know, I'm talking to the people that look out and go, but why? I'm talking about them. You understand what I'm saying? You know, why do you have to be passive aggressive? And here's the thing, it's great sometimes because I think a lot of people think I'm dumb. They look at my black face and my stupid hair and the fact that I just wear beaters and broken down clothes like I'm homeless. As, you know, well, he's obviously a fool. And I wouldn't completely disagree with you, sir or ma'am. But the reality is, I think about a lot of shit, you know. I think about a lot of things. And every time someone talks to me, I think about that. I roll those conversations over in my head 10, 15 times. Within a couple of hours span, I do that. I can get lost in that shit. So, for anyone who thinks, and not to say that I've missed it all, or that I haven't missed it all. I've definitely missed some. But a lot less goes over my head than people think. Oh, don't look at me. I am the smartest. Oh, God. I sound like such a prick. You know. But, you know, like you're working on something. There's 17 other things to do. Now, instead of just telling you that, hey, you're going slow, or you're not doing this right, the person doesn't go do something else of the million other things that could be done. They go to your thing and start doing your thing too. Now, if that doesn't make you want to take whatever tool you have in your fucking hand and shove it up their ass, then I don't know what will. That is super passive fucking aggressive. Which makes me want to just be fucking aggressive. And then, so what I'll do is I'll be like, well, I know there's 17 other things. You may not have liked what I was doing, how I was doing this. You could have said something about it. But no! You had to come over and put your hands on it. So then I leave. And then you still keep working on my thing. Like, are you retarded? Are you absolutely fucking stupid? Why wouldn't you look up and go, oh, now he's not working on the thing. Maybe I made a mistake. No, you keep doing that. Which then makes me want to burn the whole place down. While smiling and smoking a cigarette. Being like, well, I don't see how he didn't see he had this shit coming. Like, how the fuck did this nigga live past the age of fucking 25? So let's work on that for each other. Let's not be passive aggressive to each other. Let's not see someone do something and leave something out and then wait till they leave, grab it and move it to another place. Let's tell them what's annoying you that they're doing. Because if you don't, they're going to want to hit you over the head with a hammer and throw you in an oven. Or throw you off the side of a balcony. Or just stomp on your face. And grind it into the ground. Comedy. Yeah, bro. That shit gets on my fucking nerves. You know, that new show, was it House of Dragons? Just came out. I watched the first episode. At the beginning of this episode, I'm pretty sure it was up there. And it really does. It looks decent. We'll see if it's Game of Thrones enough. as the episodes go on, who knows if it will be. We'll see. I don't even think Game of Thrones was Game of Thrones on episode 1, season 1. It took time for it to become Game of Thrones. Alright, where the fuck? Alright, Jesus. It's not that I needed that, but I just hate when you just like, I just had you, I just did a thing. I just turned the channel, I just smoked the thing. Where are you at? Why are you hiding? What is this? Those are the things that drive me up the fucking wall. All the little dumb shit that happens. And then we still have people who just do all the little dumb shit. Like, bro, most days, by the time it's 8 o'clock, I've already done this 10 times. Ugh. What did I just hear? What did that person just say? Why did they just do that? Why are they asking me this foolish fucking question? Why are they white? I don't say that. All the rest of them know. A lot, bro. Sometimes I wonder if I should even be in this fucking world. Like, I'm not advocating self-terminating, but I mean, like I said before, I know I've said it live, probably on the podcast too, but I think if I trip and there's like a van coming, or if I see the rock falling and it's tumbling right in I'm not going to jump out of the way of it. Like, I'm not going to fucking put the hair dryer in the tub, and nobody's getting the belt and doing the thing. Nobody's taking the knife to the thing. But if that little ambiguous, did he self-terminate? Like, if it comes out and it's imminent, I'm gonna be like, well, fuck, it's about goddamn time. What have we been waiting for? I mean, I'm not doing nothing. And I'm sure we've all felt like that. And the thing is, the ones of us who don't want to admit it, is like, I know, but nah. Rainbows and butterflies and shit. Fuck you. You're a big part of the reason why why I'm even talking like this right now. And then the people that get mad at you for pointing out obvious stuff. Like I was talking about the war, we're going to the war. It's like, well, if that's how you feel. No, I'm just saying, what are we doing? Sure, I'll be there, I'll fight the war, but I just want to know. Especially if I have to live this life, which just seems like one big sacrifice. Am I wrong? I mean, you live, they own your name, they own your social security number, they own your birthday, they own everything, and they just suck from you until you're dead. And just say, shut up and watch the soap operas in Fox and fucking NBC. CBS. I mean, how is that even a life? How are people even just content with that? You don't have to roll up in arms and, the society. No, but at least be honest enough to smoke some weed, because it's crazy that this is the type of life we're living, and you need drugs. A lot of to get over that shit. By the way, weed is not a drug; it is a plant, and it is a medicine. And fuck the industries that try to destroy it, because they fucking wanted rubber and other shit to be the lasting fucking. It was part of their franchise and not the hemp. Fuck yourselves. And a lot of people have died because of you. Maybe you should have done an even better job of that. Because there's still a lot of stupid people roaming around this fucking planet. So you didn't do your job even well. And that's the other thing. Where do they think this is all going? Like, they're building a bigger ship, dousing it with gasoline, and sending it down an ocean with 30-foot waves. Like, that's what the human race is. It's just a shit that just keeps getting more added parts, and it's heading for the waterfall. Like, we had plenty of sea before the waterfall, where we could have figured it out. But everyone in power wants everything. And unless you figure out how to squeeze and lie or kill your way or fucking rape your way into power or suck your way into power, then you're going to be everyone else all the same. And those people on top are just ripping chunks out of our humanity. They're no more human. They're not human. They're all demons. They're all fucking demons. And they're ripping chunks of what's left of humanity, because what's left of humanity is poor. The state of humanity is poor. And they're just ripping it out, and we're just like, no, but this one cares. I've had enough of this. I'm going back to Days of Our Lives. And then when you get tired of that, I'm going to go back to my reality. Fox News. Which is Days of Our Lives with steroids. Everyone in there's a fucking character. But they're all characters. I just burped and tried to say characters. They're all that. If you want to believe, bro, why don't you just, we should just, everyone has a plug and then just plug yourself into the fucking TV wire at this point, my dude. You're a fucking machine. A stupid, low-rent machine. If you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you're a machine. If you work at these stores and you're happy, good for you. But you're a machine. Trying to get somebody to buy an $800 phone and not realizing that, hey, I'm helping child labor. I'm helping perpetuate that this thing is actually fucking this valuable when we should be sending them off the shelves at $100 or less. Because we know that it was made for $10 or less. All of them. Like the $800 phones, the $1,000 phones. They were all made for less than $10. The fucking gross profit that these motherfuckers are making, and they're just buying fucking $10 million yachts that are as big as fucking carriers at this point. Aircraft carriers, military, yeah. Like the Empire State Building floating in the water. That's what a fucking aircraft carrier is. And these rich fucking clown niggas have they have yachts. Alright, maybe not as big as an aircraft carrier yet, but we're getting pretty fucking close. So, I mean, hear this, bro. Hear this. There is no job. Like, I'll probably have to do something. I'll probably have to go and back at a restaurant, dance around. Who knows? Become a fucking prostitute. Who knows what the fuck I'll have to do in the fucking future just to get money? But the only thing I want to do is either from the stage, and I'm still not too keen on that. I'm eventually going to get back in front of a mic. But now, I can do the YouTube, get back into the TikToks. You know, I gotta find, not these last 4 episodes. No, that'll get me kicked off and thrown in jail if I put that shit on TikTok. I can do the fucking, there's the Patreon, there's the Spotify. There's plenty of things you can do sitting in your living room, Howard Stern, by the way. You gotta do radio. You gotta get out there. Shut up. You're 95 years old. What the fuck do you know? Yeah, I plan on doing this version of my life because this is the only thing that actually brings me a little bit of happiness. is being able to get on here, call everybody clowns, including myself, and be like, but also, like, comment, and subscribe so I can get paid. So I can keep calling everyone clowns in the future. You don't know if any of this shit's gonna fucking get a laugh, but you gotta keep talking, man. You gotta keep saying shit, pumping it out, making it happen. For any of you that have a dream, do it. No, not really. Do it if you think you really can, because it sucks. It sucks to be here, sitting here in obscurity, in an ambiguous state of existence, not knowing if at some point anything you're doing is actually going to pan out, even the real things you're doing outside of this, just to support it. Should I just try to become a bus driver? At least they get paid almost $100,000 a year. I mean, I'll kill myself. I'll be like, fuck the non-fucking self-terminating. Where's the gun? We're done. You know, really check with yourself if you want to, because we need people at Safeway. We need people to bag the groceries, to help the old lady to take her fucking, you know, Metamucil and fucking insure out to the car, you know, from the fucking Kroger's or commissary or Walmart or whatever. We need those people. And if you're content with that, great. Also, they should be getting paid a living wage. Why should a human being get paid a living wage? Because they're alive. And in order to live, they have to buy things so they can consume them. So they're not dirty, they have to take showers, so they need a place to live. So they should at least be able to afford that. Like $20 an hour for someone working at a fucking food store. $20 an hour. That's too much for a billionaire? So think about this, man. Think about what this is. When we're talking about a class issue, we don't even believe in ourselves and what we're worth. You know, oh, that's too much money. You know, people underbidding jobs fucking because they know that the white people that they're gonna have to work for, you know, or the fucking black white people that they're gonna have to fucking work for, or the Mexican white people. I'm sorry, white people, but y'all really have fucked it up these past 500 years. And you almost kind of own greed, and it's a sickness that whatever other race touches you, they seem to be able to get it. You know, like white people are so interesting, and black people were so weak that you had even black slaves feeling for real inferior. Still people feeling like that. Once again, Candace Owen wants nothing more than to be white. Candace Owen wishes she was white. Going on there touting that Trump shit. Baby girl, you're broken. Get a life. You love your husband. I truly doubt it. And you all will get divorced. And if you don't, it's because you listened to this podcast and it was just to spite my truth. You'll get divorced. You don't love that man. And the only thing he loves about you is that you hate white people. Or hate white people. Jesus Christ, I fucked that up. You hate white people. God, it can't even be funny anymore. You hate white people. Such a fucking idiot. If I wasn't on camera, I'd slap myself. Yeah. Nobody wants this life. You know, and we just do things to convince ourselves. So I get sick of when I just ask these basic questions about the life and about even the afterlife. And about one time I said God is white. I was like, well, he's got to be. Look at the world. I didn't know about the Moors at the time. I was like, I mean, it just seems full of entitlement. Even the rules of life seem kind of full of entitlement. I brought you here. You'll do what I say. You'll love it. If you don't, you're damned. And if you do, you can come here and fight my war. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. But, well, fuck. That isn't part of the narrative. You know. It's like, what are we doing here? And you're just like, well, so you'll never find contentment? I'm fucking 40. I'm 38. It's too late for me to be happy riding around as a 20-year-old. I got gray hairs in my stupid fucking face. And I'm supposed to be happy? Fucking getting out of, finally, after grinding all that time, I'm getting out of my pickup truck that's still not brand new. And don't be mad at yourself for wanting something new. There's so many people around me now that are just like, yeah, I'll salvage this. And how far down have you gone? You don't even want to get something that had a price tag on it? You got to pull it off the side of the fucking road? What are you, a rat? The vulture? Come out of the dark and step into the light. Go into the store and buy it off the shelf like a human. And then people call me elitist just for pointing this shit out. Or atheist, whatever. No, I believe in God. I'm just pointing out the shit. So that's so fucking wrong. Everyone should get over the fucking selves. Their selves. God, bro, I'm learning some English. Well, I'm getting tired and a bit sweaty. And, yo, if you haven't, if anyone, like I was an avid Game of Thrones motherfucker, bro, you know, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Vala Morghulis, nigga. Vala Morghulis. I was a Game of Thrones nerd. So, I think this fucking House of Dragons is worth checking out. So check that shit out. You know, other than that, you know, let's wash our dishes. Let's wash our clothes. Let's vacuum our floors. You know, let's try to shape up as much as we can. But also let's realize where we're at. You know, it's a failed state, not just America, the world. You know, we got the wars and there's fucking integrated international pedophilia rings happening, you know, oh, this person was murdered, or this person was, you know, committed suicide, but they were actually murdered, you know, this person just randomly died in the tunnel, or this person just blah. Yeah. Like, it's over. Either the wave or the bomb. Either the wave or the bomb, people. It's probably how it's going to end. You call it your own personal judgment, Dave. You won't be here after it. And if you are, time to self-terminate. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, we'll call this episode 36. It was going to be with this guy who's, you know, he's dealing with this whole thing with a divorce, by the way. Another toxic relationship out of the thousands that I've had to just look at some of my friends and go, I'll take you behind the bar. We'll do each other. I mean, Old Yeller style, not fuck. You know, where it's just like, I mean, you should have seen this coming from me, and I'm looking at both of you. I'm looking at both of you right now. And I can say both of you shouldn't have even wanted to have kids. You're still kids. You're only together because you hate yourselves and you don't want to be alone. Which, if you can't get over that, oh Yeller! We're done! Other than that, have fun. Fucking, like I said, keep looking forward to it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in bunches. Clips on the TikTok, clips on the fucking YouTube Shorts channel. We're going to start looking at different avenues. I'm going to fucking try to revamp the Instagram. Maybe put a little bit more shit out on Twitter, because I just don't even buy into Instagram or Twitter. Like, TikTok, at least to me, seems reasonable. You just put the fucking video out. You know, it's a fucking video. But, I mean, Instagram is just a bunch of bitches standing in front of a fucking wall, and I'm like, word, who gives a fuck? Like, I'll go on the real fucking porn, and I'll jerk off to them because they're fucking. I'm not gonna look at you in front of a fucking wall. Are you out of your mind? Where's the bomb for that fucking wall? Right. So, we're done for this episode. We'll come back with maybe a bit more of a better algorithm, even though I like riffing. Riffing is good. You got a little bit of drink in you. You got a little bit of marijuana. You can riff a bit. But we'll try to fucking study up for the next one. Maybe have a couple more videos and not just a backup of a fucking dragon burning shit, which I think is pretty cool. So, hope everyone had a good weekend. I'm probably going to put this episode out either tomorrow or Tuesday. Till then, look for the bomb.